Hey, concept artist here. Let me tell you how I made this 2D art using the 3D modeling in Blender. First, I roughly sculpted the face. Then I worked more on facial features. And then, let's make it rougher, with texture like it's made of wood. Then I got rid of the insides using boolean, so it became a mask. Because I like modeling slightly creepy stuff. Then straight to the shaders. Here I used two PBR materials, bark material and moss PBR material. I just love moss so much. To blend them in stains, I used a mask made from noise texture connected through the color ramp node. Then I went to geometry nodes to make the cracks. I made few of them. Back in shaders, I decided to add ambient occlusion node to make dark parts even darker. Then I had to add the inside emission. To make it shiny, I put spherical principled volume inside with a few point lights. Then I decided that I want the biggest scene, so I created a tree stump with gnarled roots and shaded it with the same material. I made a landscape for my future swamp and added water. Then I sculpted around the mask just a little bit. I downloaded a free frog and put it on one of the bumps. Using curves, I made a few creeper trunks. Then, using TreeGen add-on, I generated a few trees to add to the background. I also made a background plane. I used the same mossy shader for the creeper trunks and trees and put a free forest image to the background plane just for the atmosphere. Speaking of the atmosphere, here goes some fog. And finally, I tuned render passes to work with them in Photoshop later. Most importantly, mist pass for future alpha channels. Then I jumped into Adobe Photoshop. First, I made the face more detailed and drew some greenish stuff on a stump. Then I worked on every part separately using mist pass to make selections and alpha channels to save them. I sketched swampy grass on the foreground bump and some water grass in the water. Then I put a little work on grass and moss details here and there. And then I wanted to add a tiny character riding a toad in front of my wooden-faced creature. Even gave him a long-legged birdie friend. Then I drew creeper trunks greens and added a few branches. After this I worked close on the foreground trunk and blurred it a little to create an aperture effect. Then I highlighted my characters with a slightly lighter background, at the same time creating foggy atmosphere. And here it is, a misty swampy location deep in the forest done in 2 days.